beer sounds right up to here. Drink a good deal of it, make a good meal of it, stick to your old-fashioned beer. Now don't be afraid of it, drink till you're made of it. Now all together a cheer.
And good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it happens to be when you're watching this. I'm Mark McDermott here once again with you, the Beeronaut.com and the One Take Beer Reviewer. Once again, we're going to pop the lid, the cap, or the pull tab, if you will, on another beer. And once again, I'm picking out another sort of national brand because that's what usually gets the most clicks. I want to do some more local ones as they come along. But anyway, this is kind of a follow-up to an interview that I got to do with Jim Koch, the founder of the Boston Beer Company, otherwise known as Samuel Adams. They were introducing their new beer called Sam 76, which they had proclaimed to be a blend of a union, as it were, of lager and ale. And in the course of the interview, we found that it was basically a process by which they did ferment the same malt and American hop mix with ale and lager yeast, but then they put the hops mostly in the secondary and blended the two yeasts together, and they said after a year or so of research they found it helped bring out the flavor profile of the hops, giving it a nice fruity edge but took away the bitter aftertaste, so that gave it the crisp finish of a lager. So they say, well, we have some. Of course, I had one while I was talking to Jim, and but that was early in the morning for the phone interview, and while I was having my morning coffee between sips. So we're going to, well, use the trusty Sam Adams lager glass and just make a little. Now, when I first had it, it had a nice actual resiny note to it. And as we can see, it kicks up a nice head of foam. I'm trying the camera in a different position, and of course, once again, the actual camera lens is way over here, and I'm looking at the screen, so I'm just looking at the whole thing a little cockeyed. But anyway, there's a nice, slightly hazy yellow beer color and a very puffy head. And this does have a lot of tropical and stone fruit to the nose. The first time I had it, I thought there was just a little bit of resin to it, but I'm not getting that now. So it's kind of a kumquat, even a mango flavor. Not as much pine as I had thought the first time I tried this. And let's just get a nice TV beer going here. Yes, this does come down, start out kind of like a session IPA, and there is still a little bit of the fruit, and now I'm picking up some of that pine after the first sip goes down. And it's got almost that Pilsner finish that suggests perhaps a little bit of a soft water profile, but I think they live up to their hype in saying that this is a very different tasting beer. I mean, I still get a little bit of a snap, a little bit of bitterness in the aftertaste, but that can't be helped, and frankly, it's much milder than you would normally get in something like an IPA, for instance. And this is still only 16 IBUs, it says, and for other information, it's 12 IBUs and 4.7% alcohol by volume, so it's about the same as any regular beer. And as they said in the interview, of course, the low IBUs are because they took out a lot of the bittering acids in the process, and they worked out that it was just the natural byproduct of blending the two different yeasts that kind of stripped out the acids in the secondary ferment, or rather from dry hopping is where most of that came in. And I think it has come out with a very different and interesting beer. And of course, with Boston / New England being in the Super Bowl, this would be one beer pick for watching that game. I wish I had something from Philadelphia. I have like some Weyerbacher that is like 10, 15 years old in my cellar that I really should be getting to, and not much else from the Philadelphia area. So we'll say this is your first pick of beer for the Super Bowl, and of course you want to have something from your own local hometown brewery as well. So the Sam Adams Sam 76, very interesting, and it is, as promised, a slightly different combination of ale and lager brewing. And this is Mark McDermott saying to you, as the Beeronaut.com and the One Take Beer reviewer, go out and get yourself a beer and enjoy yourself, and cheers.
Now don't